People ask me this every year, how many gifts, Janelle, do you DIY for Christmas? And usually at least one. Hey, I'm Janelle, this is toDIYfor, and if you are new to my channel, I do new DIYs every Wednesday. We've been doing a lot of Christmas decor items. We're gonna do some gift ideas, and if you love to DIY gifts, it's an affordable way to do it, but I think it's a very personalized way to give a gift. I have a ton of gift ideas already on my channel from previous years. Half the projects that I do I think would make really great gift ideas, so peruse there, but we're just gonna do some more anyways today. Specifically the one idea, it's really simple and basic, and both of these, all you need is a drill and some wood, so it's super beginner friendly. You do not require a lot of skill to make these, but I think that my sister, my mom would really love this one gift. And the other gift is actually just like a fun game that is honestly great for all ages. Last year, I think somebody got it in their stocking at my boyfriend's parents' place, and everyone wanted to play. It kept us like entertained for the entire week of Christmas. So it's so easy to do. I'm gonna show you those two ideas. Let's get into it.
Okay, so I'm starting here with a piece of scrap wood that I had. It is a 2x3. I think the thicker, the better. This I found to be a perfect size for this project. And I am just marking out points where I want to drill holes for all of my candlesticks. So I did this in kind of a bit of a zigzag pattern, so they offset each other. It's really gonna depend on how long you make this for your measurements, but mine are approximately 1.5 inches apart from each other. So just go ahead and find the right size drill bit for your candlesticks. Mine happen to be 3/4, and I'm just going to go ahead and drill these through. Obviously not all the way through. You want to be careful to go about halfway through the wood. This is optional, but I decided to go through with a hammer and my screwdriver and kind of rough up this wood just a little bit. Now this was sanded down, but I wanted to give a bit of a aged look to it, and these markings are really going to come out once you stain the wood. So I'm going in with my red mahogany stain that I have used a number of times for lots of projects in my home. I like the color, and I'm just staining this entire board, and then you want to wipe it clean and of course get in all of those holes and get them as clean as possible from that stain. Once you've allowed it to dry, you're going to want to go in with a couple of coats of polyurethane to seal this all, do a light sand to make it a nice and smooth coat, and you'll see it styled at the end. Now I have another piece of scrap wood here, and I've simply just drawn a triangle on the edge of this board. You don't need it to be too big, and honestly I did not measure this, but you need it to be an equilateral triangle, so if you want to pull out the protractor and get it to be exact, be my guest. I just eyeballed it. And now I'm drawing in all of the dots, so it needs to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it needs to be that way no matter which way you set the triangle. So you can just go ahead and eyeball where all those holes need to be. Go ahead and start drilling holes in those as well. Now be careful when you're doing this. You can absolutely put a board underneath if you're worried about going through. I was not. I've done this plenty of times. Unfortunately, I have a very bad angle here for you. But you want to go in about halfway through the wood. And you can always put a piece of tape on the end of your drill bit to mark how deep you need to go if you're worried about it. So once I drilled all of those holes, which by the way are the same diameter as the golf tees that I'll be using, I'm just gonna go ahead, sand this thing down, and then I'm going to give it a couple of coats of polyurethane to stain or to seal it in, but you can absolutely paint it if you want. Now here is the way the game works. Essentially, you start with golf tees in every single hole but one. You can choose which hole to leave open, and then you're going to jump golf tees, and then that will remove it. So as long as you can continue jumping over golf tees, you're good, and you ideally want to get down to 1. I got down to 2. Not bad, actually. That's a pretty good score. So it's a fun game for everyone to use, and I think it makes a great stocking stuffer. One thing I would recommend, get better golf tees than I did. Mine were varying in sizes because they were cheap and they stuck in some holes and they didn't work in other ones. Here is my beautiful centerpiece. This thing was so easy to put together, and I think it looks absolutely stunning on my table. Would look great if you are hosting a party. The cleanup was really easy. I let this, burn all night long, and it was easy to pull out the melted wax at the end of it, and I am going to be gifting that. So let me know what you thought of these DIYs, and I'll be back next week with another one. Cheers.